Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Students, take out your Read Now book 5 and today we will read the chapter Sports. So let's start reading of this chapter. Students, open your book page number 123, chapter Sports, and let's start reading. In the center, in the middle of a bare patch is a part of something marked out of rest of ground in the Indian jungle was something that looked like a large stone. But it was not a stone, it was Spots, the leopard. Spots lay quite still and allowed the sun to blaze down upon the whole length of his back. Blaze means looks, shines brightly. For he was in a bad temper, and he thought he wanted to have been happily asleep long ago, but he was hungry. And a hungry leopard finds it hard to sleep. He knew that it would be useless to look for food while the sun shone. And so he muttered and growled. This to growl to mean make a low rumbling sound, and wished that the night would come. Sports was a curious creature. His coat looked worn, means torn in places like a rug. Rug is like a mat that has been too long in use, and here and there the fur had quite gone. He opened his mouth in a mighty yawn, mean open the mouth wide, and his teeth showed yellow and stumpy. Stumpy means short. He moved rather stiffly, hardly, and seemed to take no interest in anything around him. Sports was old age to a wild animal, especially to beasts of prey like the leopard, tiger, and lion, is a terrible, means dreadful thing. It always means starvation, means lack of food, and very often death. Age brings weaknesses, Age brings weakness, and in nature, the weak can expect no mercy. Sports was unable to chase and attack the deer. Chase means to hunt and attack the deer, which were such an easy prey to him. When he was young, he would look longingly at the cattle and wild boars. Longingly means look with erring desire, but was afraid to approach too closely because of the danger from their horns. This sport, in order that he might live, found himself compelled means force someone to do something, to hunt human beings. In other words, Sports became a man-eater. It was now his custom, his tradition, to lie hidden near the grounds, grazing grounds and to crouch in the bushes near the streams, from which the women and children of the villages drew their water. And student's crouch is a sitting position. On his knee he sat in the bushes near the streams from which the women and children of the villages drew their water, and to lie in the long jungle grass that lined the forest paths. There he would wait patiently until some unhappy woman or child would come near enough for him to spring. Now, although it is quite an easy matter for a leopard to kill human beings, he must not to do it twice near the same place if he wishes to stay alive. In some mysterious, strange way, Sports had found this out, and so he never stayed long after his kill. and he would travel a long distance away from the scene of his crime before lying down to rest for the day. It was because of his cleverness that Sports lived so long. When the men of the village arrived to hunt for him, he was far away and could not be tracked down. Sports continued to kill, and all unknown to himself became quite famous as the leopard which could not be caught. Forest rangers took an interest in Sports and made many efforts to find him, but in vain. The creature's habit of never going back to a village where he had once killed made it very difficult to know where he was. Tricks of all kinds were tried, traps were cunning men cleverly laid, but Sports avoided and escaped them all. At last, a reward of 500 rupees was offered for his capture, dead or alive. Sports knew nothing about warning or rewards, but he did know that it was becoming very difficult to find food. Children no longer ran about the villages at dusk. The women drew the water early, and men went through the jungle in couples and armed with heavy tricks. The old leopard had visited a village the previous night and had waited near the gates of the wooden railings fences surrounding it. He had gained nothing for his trouble, for his problems, and had departed, separated in some haste and daybreak when he saw some cattle being driven out to grass. The cattle had and detected his presence, and the leader of the herd had charged after him, snorting with fury. So snorting means make a sudden sound in an aggressive way with fury. A herd boy who ran after the bull noticed the telltale tracks of the leopard and raced back of the village. There he told the headman what he had seen. Word was sent at once to the forest officer, who stated that he would come as soon as possible. He clapped his hands and saw the servant who appeared. He said, "Tell Badri to come here, please." In a moment or two, a small brown faced about lad, a boy of about 18 years of age, passed silently into the room, saluted, and stood waiting orders. Badri, said the officer, "we go once more in search of this spotted one, and I think we shall catch him this time." Badri looked doubtfully at his master and replied, "We have sought for him many times, Sahib." Students, remaining reading we will do on the next day, inshallah. So now do reading of this chapter and underline the difficult words. Also learn all the difficult words with their spellings. Okay, and student, if you feel any problem in this reading, and if you feel any problem, you can ask me in the comments. Take care.